Hello, good evening, afternoon, day, whatever it is. Well, it's evening for me now. Today, I had physio this morning. My ankle is knackered. We think I've got stress fracture and torn ligament, so that's fun. Treatment is rest, less weight bearing. I don't know how much less I can do. But anyway, I digress. I shall bench, well, cambered bar bench. So this is day 2 or day 3. I think this is push session 3. I can't actually get a full range of motion on this without any load on. I have to do like a fair bit of warming up. Get a massive pump though. So today is push day, which also includes the most important exercise of them all, curls, and I'm going to do some laterals as well. I'm kind of like self-imposing some rep limits, just because I'm finding that my natural inclination is to go for lower rep stuff, just obviously with powerlifting. But at the minute, my training goals are different. So training goals, 1, legs, obviously, and 2 is just to get back in shape. And to get back in shape, I don't actually need to lift heavy. Obviously, heavy is relative. So when I'm saying heavy, I'm saying like 90% plus, sets less than 5 reps intentionally. Some movements where I might end up doing that by accident, like pull-ups, not super strong on them at the minute. I don't think they're inherently that risky. But like my deadlifts, bench, stuff like that. Also because I'm in a deficit as well. So I don't want to cause any grief that way. And with that said, I'm just basically trying to get some good work in, and I'm looking at training the rest of my body. It's more for the mental benefit than the physical one, to be honest. I just like lifting, you know. It's like a good, I was going to say stress relief, but like, I don't really lead a very stressful life. And I don't tend to get too bothered about stress. So it's more just, I like it, I enjoy it. The rehab is like a chore, but I still do it, and I still enjoy it to a certain extent, because it feels like it's working towards something. The actual rehab session today was the best one I've had so far. I don't know. The physio was way more confident with telling me what to do, and it might just be a case of that got to know each other a bit better, but also movements and stuff that we were doing today were actually challenging and didn't just feel like meh, you know? So I learned some things today, which made it miles better, and it made it more enjoyable. So I've got new homework to do, and it's 10 past 7 now. I was about to start writing into my program my new rehab protocols, and I was like, so I already didn't train yesterday because my knees were just so sore that I didn't want to. My knees were sore, and my diary ended up quite hectic because I didn't have time, and I was already like, I just didn't want to train, to be honest. So then today I was like, I don't want to spend the time sat writing training when I could go and train. I'm not going to do much more rehab today because I've already done a more intense session anyway. I'm still going to stretch and stuff, don't get me wrong. But it's not a good use of time right now to go and train, to write about training. But anyway, cambered bar bench. Looking for a minimum of 8 reps. It's nothing crazy. Ideally as deep a range of motion as I can, but just take it nice and steady. So there's a few changes with the lifting. One is going to be a slightly slower transition. So I already do most things with a pause, but even the concentric phase, I'm not actively accelerating as fast as possible. I don't mind if the load is limited. I am focusing on the stretch position as well. Like I say, not intentionally doing less than about 7, 8 reps. Like obviously if I'm doing sets of 8 and then fatigue and I only get 6, fine. But if I select a weight where I can only get 6, that's probably a bit reckless. That's my current thoughts. Now, I seem to be enjoying the bodybuilding type training, so this way, if I keep with those parameters, it's probably relatively safe, and it fits my main goal from this training, which is to enjoy it. Right, let's see how this is for maybe 8-ish. That's 9. 10. Something else as well. Because this is a big range of motion movement, I aren't going as close to failure because I'm not used to that very deep range. I am going to do some other movements where I'm going to push closer to failure for pushing stuff today. So don't worry, I'm not completely selling out. I'm just not going to train very hard. I'm just being selective about what I'm doing. So yeah, the training stuff. I need to do what I want to do, like what I enjoy doing. And because I'm aware of the principles of training and the principles of progress, it's almost like, do you know when, like how Neo eventually could just see the code? It's a bit like that with training. At least for the training goals that I have, so strength and hypertrophy stuff. That's like what I do all day, every day, basically. So I can see what I need to do. I don't need to have it written as an exact plan. And adherence isn't a problem. Consistency isn't a problem. My training is very much based on how recovered I feel, but with a caveat that it's more about my legs than the rest of my body's recovery. So I'm okay with that, and I know it's not going to be like the best for progress, but whilst I'm in a fat loss phase, all you need to do in a fat loss phase is stimulate your muscle to stick around. That's it. I'm not going to be getting much bigger, maybe like a little bit, maybe some like sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, basically more of like a pump because I'm doing higher rep stuff than I would normally. So I'm not expecting dramatic gains in size, especially being in a deficit. And my hunger's just like completely tanked recently. I think it's because work-wise, I'm working on. So I put up a thing on Instagram today, actually, basically asking if people are interested in the business side of things as well, or just the training and that sort of stuff. And it's like 90% said yes, they're interested. So I'll talk about it a bit as well. Basically, I'm at the point of where I've got some spaces left for like one-to-one coaching, but I'm upgrading the way I'm doing that, so it's becoming a better and better service. Even things like the way check-ins are done, the way reviews and stuff are done, it's all improving. It takes me more time, which is not a bad thing, but the service is better, and I have clients telling me I should probably be charging more for what I'm doing. That's one side of things. I'm quite happy with what I'm charging, to be honest. So that's one side. But then the other side is I want to help more people, and I also want to build something that's going to support us long term in the future. And the best way to do that is with the team coaching. So the team coaching and app are the same thing. The idea is it's team coaching because the actual coaching is to the team. It's not one-to-one coaching. But the way that's delivered is somebody can post their technique review in the team thread and I will review that specific technique. So they can get a lot of the benefits of the one-to-one, but the difference is they don't have that one-to-one access to me, and I'm doing this all in the group format. So that means it's way more scalable, like potentially hundreds, if not thousands, maybe not thousands, but hundreds of members would be manageable like that without it taking up too much time, so that then my one-to-one athletes get the same and better service because they'll benefit from this as well. But at the minute, it's the tech stuff that I'm sorting. So there's a thing called a pixel, which is to do with ads and stuff. And basically what a pixel is, it's almost like, so if you know what it is, then you know what it is. If you don't know what it is, think of it like a tag that attaches to somebody when they go to different places online, and it tracks what they do. So if you have an advert, someone clicks on an advert, then they buy something. What the pixel does is it tells the place that the advert was that that person clicked on it, and it tells that person that they bought a thing, or it tells that person they left the page, or whatever it is. That information is then fed back. So say it's using Facebook ads, for example, it's then fed back to Facebook ads. That then can optimize the ads to deliver the ads to more people like that person. So therefore the ads become better to get more people to do the event that you want. So that event can be page views, it can be purchases, it can be watching videos. There's all sort of like a billion different options. Probably not that many. There's a lot of different options. But anyway, with the app and the team coaching, there's a few different pieces of software. So it's purchased through the app, which uses a Stripe integration. But I didn't write the code for that checkout, so I can't change that. So I'm waiting for the developers to put in the correct pixel and troubleshoot that for me. So when somebody signs up, that triggers something called Zapier, which is like a way of sticking together other bits of software. When they trigger as a new account, Zapier then triggers my member site to give them access to it. So I've got that bit set up, but not the pixel part, so I can't start scaling it yet. So that's part of the puzzle. The other thing is actually putting the content on there. That takes time too. So today I've just put up 5 new videos. But what I find is that when I've got a launch or something like this, my default mode will be work. The problem is it's more than one day worth of work. So it'll just get later and later in the day until I'm like, oh, I've just seen the time. To be fair, usually Rach would give me like a heads up and be like, are you going to train? Like, you notice the time? She's out this evening. I'm not blaming her, by the way. It's just the way that happens to be. Anyway, I digress. So that was 10, I think. I can watch it back and double check later. Also, I realised partway through the set, I was flexing my glutes quite a lot. I really don't need to be using leg drive on this. pen again. So the other day, what did I do? 160 for 3, I think, stiff leg deadlift. That's what got me thinking that I probably don't need to be doing as much volume. The lower rep stuff. Because I enjoyed it. I don't regret doing it. But afterwards, my knees were sore, like in the joints, and I was like, that was probably a bit stupid. That was 99% ego, 1% brain. The 1% brain was when I stopped on the 4th rep and when I started to feel my quads. Just silly. Like I say, I don't regret it. I had a nice time. I enjoyed it. But if we're being sensible here, it's probably not good. So then prior to this as well, I was looking at, so not now, earlier on whilst I was having my lunch, I was looking at how much time there's in the day. It sounds silly. And prioritising different kinds of work. So there are 4 different categories of work from a business perspective. There's money now, money later, maintenance, and then upgrades. So money now would be things that generate income in the short term. So for example, new client inquires, the time spent speaking to them, maybe having a call with them or whatever, getting them signed up. That's money now. Money later would be something like what I'm doing for the app. So building out something that in 6 months, 6 years down the line, that's going to generate money. That's the most important thing that doesn't get prioritized for most people, is looking after future you. Maintenance is basically everything that you have to do as part of the business. So it doesn't mean it's a bad thing, but that's like the job. So coaching, for example, is maintenance. Keeping on top of accounts is maintenance. Even like this, to a certain extent, is maintenance, because this does generate me leads. Those leads in turn become customers, which then pays the bills. But maintenance can just keep going on indefinitely, but it won't grow anything. Not without good systems. And then the final thing is upgrades. So upgrading the maintenance activities in general. So can the system be better, so it gets better results, easier for the customer, for the client, and easier for me to deliver? So automating, delegating, outsourcing, that sort of thing. So for example, I have an automated weekly check-in. It would be a silly thing for me to every week manually sit down and send out individual emails to say, hey, remember to do your check-in today? What a waste of time that would be. Whereas everybody's check-in is individual to them. That's set up when we agree their goals and the plan and when we do the block reviews and stuff. But it would be silly for every week to literally be like, hey, how's it going? What's your training like? Type that email out and individually send it to everybody. When instead, when they sign up, they go into an automation which just sends that reminder on their check-in day. So then they still get their customized stuff, but like that's a small task that's automated. It's just a reminder. Payments, for example, payment collection, bank transfers are just silly. They just take up so much time to track and keep track of invoices and stuff. Just automated payments, have it dealt with. Anyway, those are the 4 things. Now, if you want to grow your business, you want to be spending more time on money later tasks. But bear in mind how much time you spend on the maintenance tasks and how much time you spend on money now. That obviously will depend on how much money you've got currently. So if you split your day up into 2 hours towards each and you're trying to be balanced, that's 8 hours of the day gone. Which doesn't sound like much, but 8 hours of actual work is quite a lot. Most people work 8 hours a day. That assumes that those time blocks are very specific and very concentrated, and not just I did 2 hours of X, but really half of it was spent scrolling on Instagram or something like that. Then factor in other things that you need to do during the day. So practically, you need to eat, you need to drink, you need to use the bathroom, you need to train, you need to do rehab, you need to do cardio, you need to spend time with family, friends, you need to keep on top of the house. Like, it starts adding up. So the conclusion is that realistically, you have to prioritize which tasks are more important on different days or potentially weeks or months, depending on what phase you're in. So right now, my current phase is very much focused on money later and system upgrades. So those two things. So I still do the maintenance tasks, but I'm not doing things that are for money now. It's very much looking towards the future. But still do include a little bit of money now because it's still not a bad thing for the business. But so what that looks like in a practical sense is on a Tuesday and a Thursday, Tuesday is just money later day. So the maintenance is every day. There's no way of getting around that. So like I respond to client messages every day, but that's like, it doesn't feel like work. It's great. Thursday is very much a systems upgrade day. So on Thursday, systems upgrades. Tuesday, money later. And then Monday, Wednesday, Friday is more of a blend. Saturday I try and take off, but don't often do that. And then Sunday is very much a maintenance day because Sunday is primarily program updates and stuff. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday as well to a certain extent. Anyway, I don't remember what my point was. Got my trusty intro workout of collagen, protein, and glucose. Today's food, I had half a kilo of salmon for lunch with 3 punnets of raspberries, so 450 grams of raspberries. I then, about half an hour ago, maybe an hour ago, it'd be about an hour ago now, when I realised the time and was like, oh, I have a lot of protein left to have. Just downed a protein shake with peanut butter in it and some salt. Now I've got this, and then for dinner, I think I've got eggs. Might have some beef with it, and some veg and rice, something like that. That was the point. Not eating as much because working on more project stuff. The other thing is like, these phases are often unsustainable. So like at the minute, so I said about if you were doing 2-hour blocks, realistically at the minute I'm doing about 10 hours a day of work. Which is fun. I do like it though. Right. Oh, set. That was a bit quick. Oh. That was good. I feel pumped. Feels good. Just 10 reps again. One thing I found, if I ever don't want to train, I just watch a video of myself squatting from pre-accident. I'm like, need to get back there. I don't know if I will get back there, but it at least is a target to aim for, let's say. Right, next up, seated behind the neck strict press. So today is like ROM day, basically, big range of motion movements. I have absolutely no idea how much weight I'm going to be able to manage on this. I'm not expecting a lot. It's my ankle that's causing me the most grief. So I think it feels worse now because of all the stuff we were doing just to test it out earlier to try and figure out what's going on. If it is, so the working hypothesis is I snapped a ligament in my ankle when I had the accident, and it started healing back whilst I was off my feet, and then I've got back on my feet again, and it's basically re-snapped because it's not healed properly. So that's one option. The other option that we're looking at is a stress fracture. I mean, there's discussion of both, but it's not likely. The problem is, because orthopedics have discharged me, to get an x-ray now, I either need to go to A&E again, or it's approximately a 6-week wait. Now, if it is a stress fracture, then another stress fracture, then that means the treatment would basically be give it time to heal. Don't know why I put behind the neck for this, because that's going to be really awkward. So yeah, my ankle's what's giving me the most grief at the minute. Don't even know if you can see me from there. I think behind the neck is going to be really awkward to unrack. I have to do like a good morning to get it out of the rack. Where's the nail in? That's actually alright. I thought it was going to be super awkward. Past me must have had a plan, which is nice. Makes change. Let's go 40. This might be insane. So yeah, that's the thing with the ankle. And the stress fracture, we're thinking it's happened since I could be on my feet again, since I started walking and stuff. I don't know. It's very frustrating, I will say. Nothing can do about it right now, though, is there? So the treatment for the stress fracture would be basically give it time to heal. The treatment for the ligament would be give it time to heal. So that's it. And we're going away just over 7 weeks. And we're going for a couple of weeks. So it would be ideal to be able to walk by then. A week not walking around is fine, like a hotel or something. But realistically, you want to be doing stuff, don't you, on holiday? This song always pops up as being blocked on YouTube for some reason. Let's try something else. Right. See how many we can get. Don't know why I need to get on this side to get set up. Oh, that was alright. Definitely a challenging range of motion. Doesn't take much on some of this high reps. So pathetic. This is like high rep, high volume for me. It's not a surprise that I am getting bigger as I'm getting leaner, really, is it? Given how low my standards are for volume. Alright, let's see what's next. 10 reps, RPE 7. So this is the first rotation of this session. That's also partly why the volume is so low, with it being the big range of motion stuff as well. Don't want to cause a mischief. And what I'll do is, so when I go on the app, I can pull up the exercise, and then, so from the exercise there's a history button. So if I press that, I can see the history of the exercise. So what I'll do is, next time I get to this session, I'll pull up the history and I'll just do more. And with this training approach, I won't really need to take much in the way of a deload for a long time, because the deloads are automatically built in by me not having set rest days. So if I'm dying, not recovered, just take 3 days off. No dramas. But eventually progress will obviously stop. So then I'll have to be more strategic about things. But not yet. So next up we have close grip press-ups, curls and laterals. I do a superset, giant set thing with all 3 of them. Don't know where the best place to put you will be. Maybe you just won't see it all. I'll just change this weight as well. So for reps, it's just going to be until it gets hard. That's my scientific way of describing it. I suppose I could do press ups back here. So the reason I'm saying that is Rach has left the washing in here because she'd hung everything out earlier, but then it started chucking it down. So she started just running the garage with all the washing. So that's why. I know what I'll do. I'll put the parallel bars in here. Now I can put the barbell out the way here so I don't catch myself on it. So anyway, washing stuff is just there where I would normally put you, and I was going to move it, but it's all white bed sheets and just white clothes, and I thought by the time I'd come in here, my hands were already grafted from just the gym stuff, so I don't really want to undo all of her hard work. So this is not like a CrossFit workout. I'm not like trying to get a specific time or anything like that. Just want to do a bit of work. So, need a dumbbell as well. What can you see? I think you can see. You never answer me when I ask. You're just going to have a view of my backside when I do this. So, grab a dumbbell. Dumbbell parallel bars. Which do we start with? Curls. It's only 20 kilos, obviously. Maybe 10 reps. Just need to move this. Put a note that I did 12. Nope, not that exercise. Oh, it's supposed to be press ups first. Oh well. Oh. Eight. Eight. Knock over my drink. One round done. Already have a good pump. No complaints there. I need some way of knowing what is or isn't on camera. So look, you can see my macros for today. Forgotten my workout. I didn't fill out my readiness. So, readiness questionnaire. How sore are you? Today, a little sore. Stress, not stressed. Energy, normal. Mood, normal. Sleep, normal. Submit. I have my score. Go to workout. So we've got the bench, overhead, press ups, curls, laterals. It's 12 press ups, wasn't it? 8 laterals. What weight is that? 6. Cool. Ten. Although my appetite's not very good at the minute, I think my energy is starting to fall a bit with the deficit. My weight has too, like 96 kilos now. Might not look like it, but I'm trying to get deep on these. So this is like just what I was kind of thinking of. It's not hard. I'm getting a little bit of a sweat on. That's more just to do with the weather, I think. It's funny, isn't it? Like when you when you focus on something, you put other things to the side that are just as important, if not more. So like focusing on work, putting training to the side, feels so much better for doing it, and it's going to benefit it as well. But yet, repeat the same pattern. It's just making it a priority, isn't it? But I think because I know I'm never gonna I'm never gonna stop training completely. Like I might have day or days off, but even after a day or two, I just like need to train. I remember there was a period where I did judo to a reasonable level when I was younger. And then I tore my pec, and then various reconstruction on my shoulders, so judo was kind of gone. The goal was to was quite high, and I mentally struggled with going back, but not going back to compete. So what I did instead was I went and did some jiu-jitsu and some grappling. I still love going. It was really bad, but like I didn't tell people I was a black belt at judo and not bad at it. But then when we get to rolling, I would never like do anything dangerous. It was just fun, and like fun being a beginner, so no one expected anything. So I didn't have to go crazy. Or what I would do instead is, instead of using what I kind of already knew, I would just use what we'd covered in that lesson. So that made it more fun, a fun way to compete. But then they had an open mat once a week, and there was just like something visceral of going. Maybe it's like a way of getting out aggression or something. That felt like one session felt like the benefits of like a full week of lifting. I think I talked about this before. Like the plan was hit the powerlifting targets and then go and do more of that stuff again. I still train for strength, obviously. Strength's going to help. It's not the most important thing, but two athletes, same technique, same fitness, the strong one's going to win. Anyway, now I'm like, I don't know if I could ever go back with this. I don't know. But just, there's something about it. It's just fun. More fun than this. But this gives you like a miniature version of it, I guess. Alright, laterals. I had 8 reps again. Considering how old this phone is, it handles the app and stuff really well. I thought it would struggle with it, just because there's so much on it, in terms of like what you can and can't do with it. It's pretty cool. It's also good because it means that if I get someone who signs up who doesn't have like a newish phone, they're not going to have any problems with it. And I've just got a new integration as well, because sometimes Android stuff is hard to get to integrate with things compared to iOS, Apple stuff. So I've got some new integrations for Android as well, so that things like steps and nutrition and stuff auto track instead of having to manually enter stuff. don't know if I said about it. My biceps are still quite sore. Today they're like 2 out of 10 noms. From must be Saturday doing curls, maybe. So it's cool. Like obviously I've done something. That's part of the reason why it's so light for so few reps. I want to train them because I won't be training them for another couple of days. I don't think it's doing anything crazy. Right, let's go. Nice and easy. Last forearm. Laterals. Oh, ankle. Nice. Right, last thing, gonna do some forearms. So, what I'm gonna do, I still don't know if you can see me. I've got a rope and an ankle strap. Put the ankle strap under a dumbbell or around a dumbbell. And then, so I've got wrist curls on one of the other days in the 8-day rotation. I'm attaching this to the ankle strap. I don't know if you can see this here. So I'm going to do 2 different exercises. So one is a rotation this way. Looks really easy. It's not. And the game is to try not to put it down until I'm finished. So this time, it's the opposite. I think I've just done that wrong. Yeah, I have. But my forearms are done anyway. It doesn't take much to do forearm training, really. I mean, mine aren't huge, but like, they're relatively muscular. Maybe I need to stand like that or something. Probably can't even see. I don't know. Anyway, I think that's it. Go in. Well, put all this stuff back. So what's that, 45 minutes, full session. Probably would have been longer if I was pushing harder, but as you know about now, I'm very lazy. I'll see you maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after. Take care.